ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Fizz. Welcome back to the channel, keeping you guys in the loop of ARK Genesis stuff. Before we start, all the information that I am going to be showcasing you guys with different videos over the course of the next couple days is from the Extra Life live stream, which is right here. I have it on the page right now. If you want to help support children in need, please, link description down below will be the first link. I am helping them out on the back end side, so I'm not actually helping with stream or anything because I'm a little sick. I don't know if you can even tell, but anyways, enough about that. So please help out, and yes, and also watch the stream if you want to watch yourself. I'll also link that as the second link as well. So before we go in, yes, please donate. If not, watch the stream and have some fun. There is some stuff you can win during the stream, I'm assuming. But yeah, anyways, let's get into the information about what they're talking about for Genesis.
Do we have another one?
Which one? If I just press this, it should be the next one.
Wait, don't do
it.
that.
Swap to us real quick.
don't
Swap to us real quick.
go to that next thing.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Okay, cool.
Swap. Back. All right, ready?
Second alarm system and pressure plate and... Alright, so
Oh, that's close.
we grouped these together because these three are very specific types of items, and they're a new type of item that we haven't actually had in the game before at all, and it's a tool item. These items all have functionality to detect things and have a reaction based on that thing. So starting off with the primitive pressure plate, the smaller one, you can see on the right side of the graphic there. This is just a pressure plate. As soon as something steps on it, it knows whether it's an enemy or whether it's a friendly or whether it's a dino, and you can set it to have any type of reaction you want to any pin-coded item.
Man,
So
it's like if this, then that.
Yes.
IFFT.
So wait, time out. Run that by me again. What are the rules?
So this is giving players a way to set up a reaction of some sort, either whether it be a trap, whether it be some type of surprise lighting. It's hard for us to say just how many things they will be able to use it for and what exactly they'll be able to do with it, because this is literally giving them a tool to create an experience. And then as you go up in levels into the tech alarm system, it gets into much more advanced because now you're detecting at a range. The pressure plate only detects
On that.
directly on top of it. The tech alarm system has an area detection. We're definitely going to do everything we can to make sure that's visible and it's clear that what area is being affected, but you will be able to configure whether it's a radius that's getting affected, so a circle area or a square box, because we want to make sure that this tool is very configurable per the situation. And you can set whether you want to detect things in a large area or you just want to detect things in a very small area. And then you can set how big of an area you will actually trigger things. But these are all tools to get almost a machine system or a triggering system, a little bit of automation.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like to me. That's why it sounds exciting, because it seems like it does allow you to automate specific actions or specific things. You could set up maybe a system of these. Maybe it's 2 or 3 and they all do different things. It seems pretty cool.
So the common use cases are obviously like dino catching pins.
Right.
And they work fantastic for it, especially just a simple pressure plate. You put it in the middle of a run between gates, and you just run through and only have it detect wild dinos, and as soon as that catches up to you, it can trigger both those gates to close shut. And now you've got your taming dino. But that's a really simple use case. There's so much more that you can do outside of that, especially once you start adding turrets in and different settings for friendlies and enemies, or if you wanted to have just like a warning array to where you turned on lights because an enemy came close or because someone came close to let them know, hey, back off, there's a base here. Whatever that case is, but it does give you all those options.
Nice.
To do those. The only requirement is that something works off of a pin code or takes pin code activation, deactivation, and then it can be triggered by these things.
Okay.
And then
Very cool.
The final thing is the tech jump pad, which is extremely configurable. It does direction and it does force or power, and then it can be mounted on any surface as long as there's enough flat surface there. It's not going to go in the mesh. Hopefully, better not.
In the mesh. What is he talking about?
QA. No, I'm kidding. We will definitely be careful on that. And then it'll be very similar to a trampoline, but you're choosing where that trampoline is pointed and where it's going to launch you and how far it will launch you. So the use cases for this are also, you know, up to the user. Like, it's only limited to what you want to do with it, but you can very easily set this up as something that will get you over some type of obstacle that, you know, is too big to start building things on, or to build like a massive pathway to get up this giant cliff. Whereas you can just strap one of these down near the bottom of it,
True.
point it at the right angle, give it the right amount of power to get to the top, and then just jump over. And it's there for you every time, and other people can use it if they want. But then you can get much more advanced to where you're setting up actual jump puzzles and
Yeah, that's
you
what
know,
my mind went to when I
or
saw
like
this.
pushing people through a jump trap or something of that sort. These are the things that are limitless. They seem very simple, and they have to be, because what they do is give you options and ways to control a reaction. So
It's similar to like the ocean platform. You know, like a lot of it is in its simplicity.
Oh yeah,
That
absolutely.
means it's very applicable in a lot of different areas and a lot of different ways. And it's like, it's one of those things where even in the use cases that you guys are thinking of, there's always something that's going to happen out there that someone gets very clever about with our existing tools. And this is a part of just the ever-growing expanse of the tools and options that you could do in ARK. So it's like, it's interesting to me, like, you know, just all it is basically, it's an activation platform, right, for just earlier, right? And then there's also jump pads, just like, it's like, what can we do now, right? Like, they have the options.
Yeah, and it's again, it's going to be limited to the user. So as people start figuring out new and unique ways to do this, then it'll kind of become a standard, or, you know, this way becomes the best way to do it, or this is the coolest, newest trap to build for dinos or to build for players. We're kind of excited to see what comes of it.
Yeah, these aren't, in my mind, I don't see these, and while you can use these as standalone items, I see these as tools in a larger system. You know, like these are tools that you will use in a larger system that is set up to maybe automate something, or maybe deal with intruders, or maybe deal with, you know, make your life easier getting to and from places. So while these look like standalone items to me, I'm thinking of ways I could integrate this into a system and use these things to my advantage, and not just as a one-off item to just do one thing. But that's the beauty in this. If you want it for a one-off item to do one thing, you can definitely do that as well. But I see these as part of a larger system, and that's what appeals to me. And these two things that you just talked about is the configuration and the flexibility that you can, you know, implement these things in, and that's what's really cool about these.
Yeah, they're going to be exciting. Hopefully people see the excitement in it, and are excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, think about every, like, hardcore player now, or people maybe like Jose Sanchez are just looking at this, like, man, what the hell? Like, there's this...
I saw something in the chat where someone said it seems like everything is for PvP right now. That's not true. Again, if you weren't here earlier, I mean, even everything that we show today is not everything that's going in the game and into the DLC. So I would encourage you to stick around, keep an open mind, and you will see some things that I guarantee I think will entice you and make you happy. There's a lot of things in this DLC for a lot of different types of players. So just keep an open mind and hang around.
I would be hard to say that this is a PvE or PvP specific item, because it just it does so much.
To me, it's like a lot of quality of life, like things that
if I
people
wanted
ask
to use
for.
it for PvE and I wanted to do like something RP like this would be a great just like front door motion detector. Like, you can have it turn on the light whenever someone's coming by to visit, and it just adds that feel of authenticity. But then you can do so much more than just as a light. But for PvP, like, the amount of traps that could happen, or just weird ways of interacting with people, I don't even know if traps will be all that common, because you will be able to see where these things are at.
Yeah.
And a vigilant player would definitely see the pressure plate.
Right.
And then the tech alarm, even though it is a range that it detects, it does require a tech generator or tech power to work. So it's usually clear that there's probably going to be a few of these around, so you need to watch your step, be careful. But there's so many things you could do with that that people, I'm kind of scared to see what they do with them.
Yeah, you should
'Cause
be.
they're so creative.
You should be. It's going to be a lot of things that we probably didn't think of, and that's what's cool about it.
Next we have is the tech alarm system and pressure plate. Now this right here is very cool and interesting, and we kind of called it with the tech alarm system. We knew that it was going to be a thing, so I'm very happy that we kind of called it. I mean, there's a bunch of people saying it was like a kind of a rocket launcher thing, but now it's a camera. But we'll talk about that in a minute. Let's talk about the pressure plate. Now the pressure plate, I think, is very cool and interesting thing. It's like a Minecraft redstone pressure plate, right? If you've ever played Minecraft, it's been in the game for years. Is basically you step on it and it says a redstone power thing, which is kind of the same thing what this is doing. And basically, yeah, personally, I think this will be very good for doing like kind of solo things, right? So for instance, a great example for what I can think right now of what it would be useful for is basically being able to walk on, if you're trying to tame like an ankylosaur, right? You trap the ankylosaur in a pen, but if the ankylosaur steps on this, therefore it will close the back gate for it, so that way you can track it easier. I mean, obviously that's the most simplest logic thing I can think of right now, but I think it looks pretty cool and interesting. Now granted, you can probably make a bunch of different trap things, like for instance walking through the woods and having turrets just turn on and just shoot someone, you know. That'd be cool or interesting. I don't know. There's a lot of different things you could do that, which moves into the other one, which is the tech alarm system. Now, this is pretty cool. I'm wondering how it's actually going to work properly, right? Because when people get close, right, you can activate a bunch of different things. For instance, like a bunch of different turrets, right? Now, I was thinking about this, and I was like, what is a good way to use this system? Why don't you use it for like a wyvern trap, right? So for instance, if you're just trying to kill a bunch of wyverns and you don't want to set up all the turrets, all you know, how they're ranged and etc. What happens if you could just set it with this guy, put it down, and therefore when the wyverns get close at this distance, the tech alarm system will send it to all the other turrets to shoot the wyvern down. I don't know. Very interesting, cool. We have to wait and see until we can actually play around with it, because there's no visuals or videos on it, but I think it's going to be a very cool system thing that we're going to have, and I'm super excited about it. And last but not least, the best thing I think so far in this entire live stream, minus the lava lizard, I'm still going to call it like that because I love that name, is the actual tech jump pad. Now this thing is going to be amazing. If you ever play like Fortnite or any other kind of custom games, this is going to be cool. So I can see a lot of people now making jumping puzzles, right? So like CSGO, for Fortnite, there's a bunch of other different games, Minecraft, you know, there's a bunch of people that make kind of different games revolving around jump pads, and now we're gonna actually have our own, which would be really cool to see that kind of aspect of the game that people will start to do, you know. Now granted, practical, this is be amazing for bases, right? So if you have a really tall base, you put it at the bottom, boom. Or if you have a lot of distance to cover, now granted, we don't know how this is working, but other games I've played with jump pads is really cool. If you have a lot of distance to cover, maybe you could put a bunch of them here, da-do, and that way you could just keep jumping from one to the next. That would be really cool and interesting to see. So like you can make like a jump pad system network to go across the island. I don't know. There's a lot of possibilities with this, and it's very interesting, very cool, and I'm like super excited about this because I can like design a whole base around this. Oh, and I want to know if dinosaurs will be able to use the jump pad, because I'm hoping they could, and if they can, it's going to be really interesting and fun. So we have to wait and see. But that's it for the video. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure you like, subscribe, follow. There'll be plenty more videos coming out in the future. And yeah, we'll see you guys in the next one. Take care and have a good one.